Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning into our new podcast. It's all about the CX. This is very much a follow on to the videos that I've been recording on the whiteboard on the sales floor in Oracle Digital. I'm joined today by my fellow colleague, John Foley. And as our conversation unfolds today, it'll become a lot more apparent why John has joined me today. It's very much a team effort within Oracle. Again, a lot of the views that are going to be voiced today are our own opinions and opinions that we formulated through talking to customers over the past couple of months. Look, we very much welcome any kind of questions or queries. If you're enjoying the podcast, please share it with your colleagues, fellow peers. And look, it's about having a little bit of fun by talking about customer experience, but also maybe having a look a bit more under the hood about what customer experience is, what it means to potential customers and buyers on B2C, B2B, and B2B2C. I know, confusing, but look, we'll crack on a bit.
Good job there, Barry. That was tongue twisted.
It is a bit of a tongue twister, and look, I've had a great response to the videos that I've been working on over the last few weeks. I've been lucky enough to have John work with me on a couple of them, and him share his insights just from conversations that he's had with customers. Look, it's you know, there's no silver bullet or secret sauce to what we do here, but what we do is, Oracle is all about data, and if we can take your data and actually help you maximize it and monetize it in some shape, way, or form, I think look, we'll do a pretty good job for you and for anybody. Look, today we're going to kind of cover off three topics. One will be around the power of email. Is it dead? I definitely don't think it's dead. We're going to talk a bit about hyper personalization, a subject I think that's become more and more important over the last 12 months. And then lastly, John's going to kind of take you through a bit of a customer journey. He's been working on with a lot of clients over the last couple of months, mapping out their customer journeys, where they can actually improve things, how they can actually assist their customers a lot more. So look, we'll kick it off with the power of email. So, very quick question for you, John: is email dead?
I shouldn't think so, to be honest. Otherwise, this video is very short. So, regards email, absolutely not. It's a phenomenal way to actually communicate with customers and directly in. It doesn't interrupt their day either. As well as that, if you're getting the content right, then there's more appreciation and appetite to actually be contacted through that source.
Yeah, like look, I I'm a commuter, and I tend to have a look at my personal emails first thing in the morning when I'm coming in on the train, and the same when I'm going home at night on the train. And if there is something of interest there, once I get home and I'm sitting on my couch, I'm gonna consume it a bit better. I'm gonna discuss it with my spouse,
Mhm.
and it's when you have more time in the evening times as well. You'll click through on links. You'll actually, look, I've two young kids. Once they go to bed, I'm going to click through. I'm going to have a read, if it's something of interest. Like there's a couple of things about email that I really like. It's very non-intrusive.
Mhm.
Um, you're not sending text messages to people. You're not calling them up on the phone. You're trying to share some information, and there's lots of information that you can share within an email. It can be a new product launch. It can be information about upcoming events. It can be information about a sale that's going to be happening. There's so much that you can actually use it for. And look, I gave an example last week about Aer Lingus. Their click-through rates are 47%. Like that is just a phenomenal amount of click-through rates. But like from that, like they've been able to, look at, kind of cross-selling and upselling across their stacks. Like their sales kind of went through the roof. But that just didn't happen overnight for them as well. Like there was a whole profiling process that they had to go through. So one of the things that Oracle is really good at is we have different products and platforms, and depending where a customer is on their journey, if they're looking to build up customer profiles or understand what platforms their customers are coming from, like there's so many different social elements, Twitter, Facebook, friends, family, WhatsApp, Snapchat, that they can actually consume their information from. So by looking at the likes of different lookalike models, they've been able to profile out 10.6 million profiles of potential customers. I just think that's an amazing number, no matter what market you're in.
And that's perfect kind of reason for why we should use email still. Going back to your original question, is email dead? Absolutely, it's not. What is dead is the archaic way people have been using it. So therefore, actually executing a campaign using the data that you have, and actually, to your next point, actually knowing the customer, bringing in the information, making the information relevant, and also whether it's B2B or B2C, how much information you want to put in the email. So it's really important, and that's exactly what Aer Lingus are doing at the moment. They're finding out where you've been. Do you carry a bag? Is this information relevant to you? Are you using it for work? Are you using it for leisure? Seasonality, all that key information that they need to use to actually make something relevant to you.
Yeah, like look, they're a classic. People use them for business travel, for personal travel. I just the stats are just mind blowing to you. Like it kind of brings me onto this point around the you know me, and it kind of brings it right back up to email. And we're in an era where people will jump at the drop of the hat if they've had a bad experience with a brand, and it comes back to this hyper personalization. When you click onto a website that they already know that you're a user of the site when you logged in, they already know that you like buying Nike trainers, or you're looking at a new football kit, or if it's a travel website, they know that you've been looking at this trip to Bali, but do you know what? Here's a trip to Thailand instead. It's almost kind of it's almost information overload sometimes when some sites do this really well, and then there's other sites that just I've come across that have none.
And this is the reason that we need to hyper personalize our emails. Because if you're doing a campaign flow, whether it's B2B or B2C, whether you're in retail, which is my patch, or else financial services or lead gen kind of campaigns, is if a decision is made in the first email, then all of a sudden we're using machine learning or artificial intelligence to actually offer up something further down the path, so that the second and third email is relevant to what they're doing as well. So that's something key that we need to make sure that we're continually doing.
And look, it comes down to how much email is too much email as well.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's and there's a couple of things to take into consideration if you're running different email campaigns. I think one of them is transactional sales, where you've got customers who it's high volume. It could be a clothing retail company. It could be, I don't know. It could be the likes of gaming company as well, where it's very transactional and fast paced. Or it could be slightly different, where it's a more considered purchase.
Yeah.
So you're talking about high profile brands of clothing, where more seen as an investment. It's going to take somebody a little bit more time and information before they actually purchase that product. And it comes back to one of the points that I was talking to you about on one of the whiteboards I did, where when you're looking at that nurture type of campaign, where you know me, but you're drip feeding me information at the same time, relevant information, because I've been looking at a particular product, and I might buy this product, but I could also be looking at 5 other different vendors for that same product. So put me on a nurture campaign. Is it a case then, as I'm being nurtured, am I passed to a sales team then to get the sales team to engage with me properly? But if you know me, you've got to have proper CRM engine in the background, where this me can be passed into it, and then you've got your sales team then ready to go to engage with me properly.
And as well as that, so therefore, as your level of engagement changes and your interactions with the site change, we're collecting all this data, like you mentioned. And therefore, if you have a sales team and you're working with a sales team and your marketing team are working with them well, you've got the MQLs, the marketing qualified lead. So as they change, they might change into a sales qualified lead. And the whole time that messaging is changing because
you know me.
Exactly. Exactly.
And look, again, like a lot of this is just our opinions on what we've seen, interacting with various different customers, and trying to understand where it is that they're trying to get to as well. They could be looking, we'll come back here to the power of email, but if you've got a new kind of target market that you're looking to go after, again, it's going to take you some time. You want to, use different types of social media to drive traffic to your website. You want to have some sort of campaign there to be able to gather the information, gather their details, so that then you can start getting to know them and actually give them the right information to actually turn it into a sale. And look, it kind of comes down to our very last point as well, which is in relation to the customer journey. Like, a customer journey does not go in a straight line anymore. Although it's not linear in any shape, way, or form. They're looking at, Facebook. What are people saying socially? Are they having a look at Twitter? Are they going to your website? Are they talking to different blogs of people and different social elements? Are they going back to your website? Are they abandoning the basket? Are they coming back to it, on their tablet at home? Are they looking at it at work, or are they looking at it at their mobile? There's just, and we all follow this pattern without even realizing
100%.
that we're doing it.
100%. And this is one of the things I was over in up the north of England there yesterday, and I was chatting to prospects and clients. And what we're doing is we're actually analysing all this. We're analysing all the different swim lanes, as I call them. So therefore, whether you're on email on your mobile or whether you're on Facebook on your tablet, what are the interactions? And then with the interactions you're taking, is the personalization changing at all? Is the messaging changing at all?
Yeah.
Because that's incredibly important, because they're giving you different buying signals or different signals of intent. It's up to you to actually take that information and execute the right campaign that will be interesting and make them want to make the next move.
Exactly. And again, look, it feeds nicely into the new know me. So if you know that they're following you on Facebook and Twitter, and you know that they're going to your website, and if you know that they've abandoned a basket in your website, it's very much what we're trying to do here is to try get potential customers like yourselves to, maybe have a look to see, where is there a gap within within your marketing, within your sales, within your commerce, within your service. And look, if you can get these right, you really are onto a winner in terms of, between click-through rates, getting customer profiles, converting them into prospects into customers, but then actually being able to cross-sell, upsell, and then actually retain them. And this podcast is going to be the first in a series of podcasts. Unfortunately, we we've an awful lot of information to share. I know we're not going to maybe go kind of product specific
There's not.
with people. It's more just to kind of get you to understand where, as customer experience consultants, we're trying to get people to have a look at, or potential prospects to have a look at, where is it that we can actually fit in? Is it here on their customer journey where there could be some gaps? Is it helping them understand how they get to know their customers better, or is it around the power of email?
One thing I'll mention as well, because what we're trying to do is have as many conversations as possible with clients and prospects.
Correct.
And each business is different. So, for example, Barry, when I was chatting to gaming companies before, initially I would have thought the most important thing is someone to sign up and actually create an account to put a deposit in.
Yeah.
Except what I found after chatting was it's actually the second deposit's the most important one, because there's a higher propensity for them to stay on as customers. So maybe like Cheltenham comes up, someone opens an account, they put their £20 in, and Cheltenham's over, and they don't bet again for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So therefore, and it's having these conversations, and we hope to have them with you as well.
Yeah. Look, look, we cover a huge amount of industry verticals here within Oracle. In fairness to John is very much focused on the retail space. But again, you've got to think of, there's the transactional sale, but then there's also the considered purchase. Now I've a mixed bag of B2B and B2C kind of verticals, but look, there's commonalities between the two. Like a lot of our tool set, it's made for companies who are trying to either start a journey, or they're quite mature along in a process. And it could be one of the key things that I really like about all our different tool sets is, it doesn't matter if you're using somebody else's CRM, we'll plug into it. We're a data company. We know how to extract the data to be able to pop you on this journey, to get to know your customers, or map out your customer journey. Like, all our modules are connected. They're they're connected and modular. So we're not saying to people, rip out and replace what you currently have. Let us come in and complement and supplement what your existing environments, and maybe just kind of show you a different way of actually of working. Like, look, next week we're going to maybe kind of focus a little bit maybe around the CRM piece, and how it kind of fits in to, we'll say, your marketing elements. Like, over the series of the next few weeks, we're going to give you different examples around the different offerings or different pillars that we have here. So look, we really hoped you enjoyed and maybe gained something from the podcast today. Look, thanks very much to John.
Thanks for having me.
He only found out late yesterday evening when that he was going to jump on this today. I kind of caught him fresh off the back of customer presentation yesterday. So thanks for that, John.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. And as well as that, like I said, this is kind of an open forum for the podcast that we want. So we'd love to get your feedback. And all I'll say is have a productive week, And thanks for having me, bye.